Hello friends, in today's video we are going to learn a very interesting concept from quantum mechanics, which is the matter waves or de Broglie's hypothesis. So according to de Broglie, a moving particle, whatever its nature, has wave properties associated with it. So sometimes in certain physical experiments, particles that has mass behaves as it is a wave, as it is a wave propagating along its direction. Similarly, a wave can also have particle-like property. So there is a very beautiful concept of wave-particle duality in quantum mechanics. That is, a wave can behave like a particle in certain case, and a particle can behave like a wave in some other cases. So this matter wave is the wave associated with a matter, with a particle, and this concept was first assumed by de Broglie, one of the great scientists of physics. So according to him, the wavelength of the matter wave is given by the equation lambda equal to h by mv. Here lambda is the wavelength of the matter wave, h is the Planck's constant, m is the mass of the particle, and v is the velocity of the particle. Now, according to this assumption, any particle that is moving with velocity v has a wave nature associated with it. Even if it is a cricket ball, it has some sort of wave nature. Since it is a very big particle having high mass, the wave nature will be negligible. But at microscopic levels, where particles are very small, like electrons or small subatomic particles, this wave nature is very evident and is to be considered. So if it is an electron, usually we have this thought that electron is a particle of mass 9.331 into 10 raised to minus 31. But actually in many of the physical phenomena, electrons behave as a wave. So this is a very interesting feature from quantum mechanics, the matter waves, the wave associated with particles, with matter having mass m. So this is the relation connecting the particle nature, which is the mass, or mv, which is the momentum. mv is momentum, right? P equal to mv. So that is a particle nature, momentum, and the wavelength. Wavelength is a wave nature. So this de Broglie's equation relates the wave nature and particle nature, lambda equal to h by mv, or lambda equal to h by p. P is the momentum. Now, how did de Broglie came up with this beautiful concept? So actually, Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom helped de Broglie to formulate this theory. Because you know, in Bohr's theory, Bohr proposes plenty of postulates, and one of the postulates is that the electrons moving around the atom can take only those orbitals for which angular momentum is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. L should be equal to n into h by 2 pi. Here n is an integer, h is the Planck's constant, L is the angular momentum. Only those orbitals which have this angular momentum can be taken up by electrons. This Bohr's postulate that the angular momentum needs to be h by 2, an integral multiple of h by 2 pi, can be explained if electrons are considered to be waves of wavelength lambda, and we know for a wave to propagate round a circle, this perimeter of this circle 2 pi r should be equal to an integral multiple of wavelength. If wavelength does not match with the perimeter or this orbital, then electrons cannot propagate. So here you can see that mismatch. So the electron cannot propagate like this through here, because here you can see a mismatch here. And this concept of considering an electron as a wave of wavelength lambda can be used to explain the Bohr's theory that the angular momentum need to be an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. So Bohr's theory was very helpful, very instrumental in de Broglie formulating the theory of matter waves. Now let us derive the equation for de Broglie wavelength in the case of a photon. Now we know a photon of light of frequency nu has a momentum given by P equal to E by C. So this is a standard equation for finding the momentum of a photon. Energy divided by C will give you the momentum. Now what is energy of a photon? It is h nu. If nu is the frequency, h nu is its energy. So h nu by C will be its momentum. Now we know nu by C is 1 by lambda. That is, it is h by lambda. So this implies lambda equal to h by p. So as we have seen here, in the case of a photon, the lambda equal to h by p formula, which is the de Broglie's wavelength, holds very good. We are able to derive the equation in the case of a photon from the basic formula P equal to E by C. We are able to prove that in the case of a photon, this de Broglie wavelength is holding very good. Now let us find the expression for the de Broglie wavelength in the case of any matter, in the case of a matter wave. So here we have found that the de Broglie wavelength holds good for a photon. This is the basic equation for momentum of a photon. Now let us find the wavelength of a de Broglie wavelength of a matter wave by using basic equations. Now if matter is considered to be a wave, we know the energy of a wave is given by E equal to h nu, which is equal to h into c by lambda. Since nu equal to c by lambda, this can be written as hc by lambda. Now we know if it is a massive particle with mass m, then according to the Einstein's mass energy relation, Einstein's equation gives us its energy will be mc square. So we are at the same time we are considering that the matter is a wave and its energy will be hc by lambda, and if it is assumed to be a particle of mass m, its energy will be mc square. So since these two correspond to the same particle, that is, here we are assuming the wave nature of the particle, considering the particle as a wave, and its energy will be hc by lambda. Here we assume the particle nature of the particle with mass m and its energy will be mc square. So since both correspond to the same particle, this must be equal. So I am going to equate hc by lambda with mc square. One c will get cancelled. Now what will be the equation for lambda? Lambda will be equal to h by mc. So here mass into velocity of light is obtained. This can be considered as the momentum of the particle. So it is equal to h by p or h by momentum. So de Broglie suggested that this equation for wavelength is a perfectly general one, applying to material particles as well as to photon. So here we assumed mc as the momentum. So this equation actually corresponds to a photon because mc is the momentum of a photon. But de Broglie argued that the same equation will hold for any particle. So in the case of a particle, its momentum will be mass into velocity. The particle may not have the velocity of the light. So its wavelength will be lambda equal to h by mv, or which is just h by p. So this is the expression for a matter wave whose wavelength is lambda given by h by p. So the main concept that we have learned is associated with any particle there is a wave and its wavelength is given by the equation from de Broglie, which is lambda equal to h by mv. And we learned that this concept was obtained from the Bohr's theory, and in order to explain the Bohr's theory, one of the Bohr's postulate that L equal to nh by 2 pi, it is important to assume electron as a wave. Until now you had the concept that electrons are particles moving around the central nucleus, but this concept could be beautifully explained only if electrons are assumed to be waves of wavelength lambda. Now we derive the equation for the de Broglie wavelength of a photon and then the de Broglie wavelength of any general particle, and we got these equations lambda equal to h by p. Now let us also write other expressions for de Broglie wavelength. So we know generally what is the kinetic energy of a particle? E is given by half mv square. So I am going to multiply a mass term with the numerator and the denominator. So here it is m square v square by 2m. We know momentum is equal to 2m, mass into velocity, right? Momentum is mv. Therefore m square v square will be p square. So p square by 2m is the general kinetic energy of any particle. Then what will be momentum? Momentum will be root of 2me. So if you are given with energy of a particle, you can write the same de Broglie's equation as we have learned lambda equal to h by p. So instead of p, if energy of the particle is known, you can write h by root of 2me. And for a free particle, the energy will be the kinetic energy of the particle. And if it is a charged particle in a potential, suppose Q is the charge of this charged particle and it is existing in a potential V, then the kinetic energy of such a particle accelerating through this potential will be Ek equal to QV. Charge into potential will give you the kinetic energy Ek. So what will be its momentum? We know P is equal to root of 2m Ek. Here in this case of a charged particle in a potential V, energy is QV. So this is equal to root of 2m into QV. Here Q is the charge and V is the potential. M is the mass of the particle. So what will be the de Broglie wavelength? Lambda will be equal to h by p, which is h by root of 2m QV. V is the potential, not velocity, because here energy is charge into potential. So it should be a bigger V. Now in the case of a thermal neutron, for a thermal neutron existing at temperature T, the kinetic energy is usually of the order of kT, where K is the Boltzmann constant. Then what will be its momentum? P is root of 2me, which is equal to root of 2m kT. Then what will be its de Broglie wavelength lambda? Lambda will be equal to h by root of 2me, which is equal to h by root of 2m kT. So we have obtained different expressions for the de Broglie wavelength. It can be written as h by root of 2m Ek or h by root of 2m QV in the case of a charged particle existing in V potential, and it can be expressed as h by root of 2m kT for a thermal neutron at T temperature. So I hope this concept of matter wave is clear for you. You will get a more thorough idea when we do more problems. Thank you.